Hi, I am so happy to be back here. I haven't been making any videos. We were moving houses and I finally just got my beautiful new studio in order last week and a little corner for my video filming, and I'm just happy as a hippo. So now I really want to get back on the horse again and start making loads of video, starting with the Kría Shawl. La, 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 la. I absolutely love this shawl. This is actually very special to me because this is the first ever pattern that I made. It's such a simple pattern. Obviously, it's just a basic V-stitch shawl, but it's so much fun to do. I mean, it's just, I can't even explain. So I wanted to show you, I published this in my first book back in 2011, and I can't find the original shawl. It's here somewhere, although I did say that I had organized everything. And it is called Kría Shawl, which Kría is the bird, the Arctic tern, you know, that comes here for the summertime. And it's just an absolute joy to make, and I'm going to show you. This is the newest one that I made here for the video, and for the first time ever I used the Whirl from Scheepjes, and I just love it. Oh my god, I've never used these before because I always want to choose my own colors and everything, and I just wanted something like a happy, easy summer project, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try, and these colors are so pretty, and it turned out, I mean, I must just say, absolutely perfect. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. So I did this one, and I show you how to make the tassels as well, and I added some beads to this one. I'm just thrilled with it, and I have a few more versions of it. This one was actually, when I was tidying up the studio, I found lots of half-done projects. And this one here I found half-done. And I was like, oh, I need something like easy go on the sofa. And I took it up and finished it. And I made like 3 since then because, like I said, it's addictive. It's so much fun. And the V-stitch is just beautiful because we're just working into spaces, not into the stitches. So you can really just, it's perfect for traveling, watching TV, whatever. Like just easy breezy summer. Perfect project. And I've loved this in the black as well. And then this one here I made a while back actually. This is another sort of color fading yarn, but then I added some accentuating lines into it. Really like those colors. They go great with my hair as well. So today I'm going to show you how to make the tassels and the Kría Shawl in the Whirl. And for this shawl I just used one Whirl, and it's really just absolutely loved working with this because although, I mean, it's fun to be choosing colors, but it's so fun also just to see the fade come in, and it really keeps you going as well because you're always kind of, you know, chucking away because you're excited to see the new color coming in. So we'll definitely be using more of those. But yes, the Kría Shawl, what was I going to say more? Yeah, I'm going to put a little discount code at the end of the video so that you can get the pattern 50% off for this month of July on the website. I'll put that at the end of the video. And the pattern also includes, it's the shawl. And then after this, the pattern also includes this little version, which is so cute, which is the Kría bib. So these are really just so cool baby gifts. And next up, I'm going to show you how to make these two. So I'm coming up with lots of videos, and I'm super excited to be starting to work again in my beautiful studio, in my own house, my forever studio. And I'm definitely forgetting about something, but it's fine. Let's go. Let's do the Kría Shawl. Yay! Okay, off we go. I'm so excited to be doing a new tutorial. So I'm going to do with you now the Kría Shawl. And what you need, you can use obviously any kind of yarn that you like. It's perfect for scraps, what have you. You can use any weight of yarn as well. I've done this in finger weight up to like Aran. I'm going to be using here this Scheepjes Whirl, which is just gorgeous. This is called Minty Velvet. Really like these colors. And I'm going to start from the beginning and go down to black. So it will be green at the top and black at the ends. What you need is, if you're doing it with a Whirl, it's enough to just have one Whirl because this is like 200 grams. And so it's enough to have just one Whirl. And if you're using that, I would recommend a 3.5mm hook, or any hook that you like that will get the tension that you want. And then you'll need your little scissors and a darning needle. And if you're doing the tassels, like I am, then you'll need some sort of carton. I usually use these old postcards. This is 9 centimeters long, which is like I don't know, 3.5 inches, something like that. And just know that the tassel will be the same size as the carton you use. You can use any carton you like, just, you know, cut out Cocoa Puffs box or whatever. So yeah, that's what we need to get started. And we are going to start by doing the tassels because and that's why I have the big scissors as well, because it's good to have big scissors for the tassel making. So what I'm going to do with the tassels is I'm going to start with these because I want to make them in this green here in the middle. So the thing with the Kria is that you start at the top. I'll show you here with this one that I've already made. So where you're starting here at the top, and this makes this little triangle here at the top, and then you work your way down, yeah? So mine will be green here at the top and then black at the end, and I really want to have green tassels then at the end I'll be putting those at each corner at the end. So I really want to tie together with the green. So I'm going to start, before I start my Kría Shawl, I'm going to start by making the tassels with the green here from the beginning of it. And when you make a tassel, it's really easy. You just take your carton. I like having like a few of them. Like I said, I usually use postcards for these. And you just put your yarn like this, the tail here at the bottom part, and hold it with your thumb. And then just go, oops, do a few rounds here. And you don't want them to be too thin, but not too thick either. And I don't want to use up all my green either. I'm not going to be stingy with the green, but still. So this is really a matter of taste, but I will just do it when I see that it has sort of the thickness that I want. So when you see it's bulging here a bit at the bottom and the top, then we're getting there. I'm just going to make it a bit thicker because I don't like them when they're too floosy. And yes, the color coordination with the postcard and the yarn is no coincidence. It's the little things in life. Okay, so this is nice. You see it's bulging a bit here now. So then you just go to the bottom here, where we started, here at the bottom, and cut the yarn here like so. And now we're going to be clever because the end of the shawl will be in black. So we will be sewing the tassels into the bottom half of the shawl. This will be black, so I'm going to use black for this bit here. So just cut yarn that's just a bit of a yarn here that is like maybe 30 centimeters, something like that. And thread it onto your hoop. So you want to take this one from the yarn that you will be using at the end of the shawl, which for me is black here. And then you just put your needle under here, like so. You don't really need to thread the needle for this, actually, but it's habit, I suppose. And then, and you do this at the top, you have the tail at the bottom. And then see that your ends are even, and just make one knot, and then we're going to cut, and then we're going to do the second knot, yeah? This is just sort of to fasten it here so we have it in place. And now is where the big scissors come in. And so now we go to the bottom part of it and just slide your scissors here under the yarn and cut this bit here. That's really nice scissors. And now we will, now it's like this, and we want it to be tight here at the top. And now we tighten our knot like so, and do just another one. So we just do a double knot. There we go. And then to make the little head of the tassel, then we're going to use the green again. And again, just 30 centimeters or so. And we're going to place it like this. And you can make, like, the head of the tassel is the little bulgy thing here. So I usually just like put my thumb down like this, maybe 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter, I suppose. And put your thumb like this so you're holding it in place. Leave a bit of a tail, and then you just wind it around like this a few times and do a double knot. And of course, it's not necessary to do a tassel. I just really like these as a little bit of an extra fun bit, having tassels hanging down on your shawl. But that is optional, obviously. Okay, double knot. And now, if I could find my needle, where did I put my needle? There it is. We're going to hide these ends. I'm going to thread these two here. And just put them in here and go in like under what we wound and just inside the tassel. So these ends will just go inside the tassel and be hidden there. Okay, like so. Whoop. And then to, see? And then to the fun part, which is trimming it at the bottom. I love this. Love trimming tassels and fringes and stuff. Just to get it neat. Like so. And there you go. We have one tassel ready, and I've already made my other two. So you will need 3 tassels. And here they are all then. Boop. And it does give a fun little bit of, show you a shawl that I already have. Well, I already showed you properly in the intro. So and you just have these fun little extra bits on your shawls. And I really like it. And I especially like it for this one, or I'm happy about my plan, at least, that we will have this green fun at the end of the shawl, which is black, and then it will really tie it nicely together with the beginning of it. Okay, so tassels ready, and then we're gonna start our Kría Shawl. Whoop whoop. Okay, and off we go. Now we're gonna start. I'm starting here from the middle. The yarn recommends 3.5 or 4 millimeter hook. I'm using a 3.5 and I have like a medium tension, so I would recommend that, but again, it depends on your gauge and tension. So what we're going to start with is the magic loop, and the magic loop is really so easy. It's the only tricky bit with the magic loop is how to sort of hold on to it when you do the first row into it. Okay, so we're just going to lay the yarn like this around our 2 fingers so that we have the long tail going here to the right and the short tail going to the left. Okay, and you want to hold this what do you call it, this intersect here of where the 2 tails meet. Yeah, and then you have this little loop here, and you're going to hold around that with your thumb and with your index finger of your left hand. Unless you're left-handed, then you'll do it all in reverse. Okay, and so now when we start working into the magic loop, the first row is just 3 chains, which stand for the first DC, and then 5 double crochet stitches. Okay, so we hold here, never let go of this. Okay, so you go into the loop and you're going to just fish your long tail up here, and once you have that up, you want to grab the yarn here with your left hand, and now you just want to hold really tightly here at the bottom. Okay, and we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. And once you have these in place, then you can let go. You see, now we have the magic loop secured like this. So it's really easy. You know, you can do a chain ring of 2 as well if you're having a lot of problem with it. It's just nice to have the magic loop to close it completely. Okay, so we have the 3 chains starting row 1, and then we're going to do 5 double crochets. And when you work into the magic loop, the most important part is that you're working over your 2 threads here. You see the tail and the loop. Okay, so you go inside, you yarn over, go inside, come up, and then you have 3 on it, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Yeah, yarn over, go inside, get the yarn up, then you have 3 loops up on your hook, and 2 and 2. Okay, that's 2 DCs, 3, 4, and 5. So this is row 1, and I'm not going to, we can pull your magic loop a bit together, which you just do by pulling the short tail here. And I'm not going to pull it completely through because it's easier than for row 2 just to see where your stitches are. Okay, so this was row 1. On to row 2. Start again with 3 double crochet, 3 chain stitches, which is always the start of each row because it's the replacement for the first double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and then we turn. And now we're going to do 2 double crochets in the space here in between the 2 double crochets here. You see? So we're always working into spaces, not into stitches in the V-stitch. So you yarn over and go in here in between these 2, not into the loop as itself as you would normally, but in here in the space, in the double crochet space in between the 2 double crochets. Okay? And we're going to do 2 double crochets there. 1 and 2. And then we're going to look and see where the next space is and do 2 double crochets into the next space here between the next 2 double crochets from last row. 1 and 2. Okay. And now we have to do the increase for the middle bit, for the center. And there we're going to find the next double crochet space here between these 2 here and do 3 double crochets there. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then we find the next double crochet space here and do 2 double crochets there. 1 and 2. And then in the last space here before the end of the row, which is actually a space between 1 double crochet and the 3 chains, which are a faux double crochet, we're going to do 3 double crochets because what we're doing is we're always doing an increase at the beginning of the row, at the center of the row, and at the end of it. 2 and 3. And maybe you didn't notice this in the beginning of the row because there we did the 3 chains, yeah, and then we did 2 double crochets. So in total we have like 3 double crochets here. Okay, let's revise the row. So you have 3 double crochet, 3 chain stitches instead of the first double crochet, and then 2 double crochets here in the first space, 2 in the second space, 3 in the third space, 2 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth, in the final space there. Okay, and now after working this row, we're going to pull together our magic loop. It was just nicer to have it open so it's easier to see the spaces here in the second row. And then you just hold your yarn, your crochet here, and you just pull at the short end, and it's really nice as you can see because it closes completely. Okay, so that was row 2, all done. On to row 3, and now really we're starting to work the V-stitch. So we start as always with 3 chains, which double for the first DC, and turn. And now we're going to do 2 double crochets into the first DC space, 1 and 2, and that's our increase done here at the beginning of the row because now we have a total of 3. And then we're going to do 2 here in the second space, 1 and 2. And now we're going to skip a space because the trick with the V-stitch is that you're always working, you're making these V's and you're working another V inside of them. So sort of you're only working in between these DCs that are worked in the same space that form a V. And the other ones here, like this one, you see this one is kind of square. Yeah? So we're going to skip that one because this DC here and this DC, they're not worked into the same space. So we don't want to use this space here. We're going to skip and go to the next one. So we skip one space, go to the next space and work 2 double crochets there. 1 and 2. And then we skip the next space and then we're at the center bit. So here we have the center with 3 double crochets in a row. So in between the first 2 double crochets here in the center, we're going to do 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And then we're going to chain 1, and this is the center. Chain, and then another 2 double crochets in between these 2 and 3 here of the center, yeah? You see? 2 here in between 1 and 2, 1 chain, and 2 here in between 2 and 3. And then we go again, and we're going to skip the next space because the next space is square, not to be, and we are, wait for it, too hip to be square. I mean, I had to do it, it's not slightly. So we skip this one, the square one, and we do 2 double crochets here in the next one, which is a V. 1 and 2. And then the next one is square. We don't want that one, so we skip that and go here and do 2. And now we're at the increase in the end. So you see we have 3 here in a row. So we work 2 in between 1 and 2 of the end DCs here. 2 here, and in the next space, which is between the last DC and the 3 chains, we're going to do 3, which is the increase at the end of the row. Okay, so that's row 3 all done. And you see we're starting to get a little triangle for our shawl. On we go with row 4. And as always, we start with our 3 chains, the double for the first DC. 1, 2, and 3. You want to take care to make these 3 chains in the beginning always a bit tight. And as before, always at the beginning, we do 2 here in the first chain DC space and 2 DCs here in the second DC space, because this is the increase bit. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and we start each and every row of the shawl like this. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to skip 1 space and work 2 double crochets in the next one. Skip 1, work 2 in the next one. So we're always skipping the ones that look like a square and working into the ones that look like a V in between these 2 DCs that are worked into the same space. Yeah, so we do 2 here, 1 and 2. Skip the next one, 2 in the next one, 1 and 2. And now we skip this one, and then we're at the middle bit, yeah, where we did before the last row, 2 double crochets, the center chain, and 2 double crochets. And we're going to work normally into these here too. Skipped 1 chain, 1 space, and work into the next one, and then now we've reached the center, which is the center chain here. And when we have the center chain, then we do 3 double crochets into that one. 1 and 2 and 3. And on we go. And we do 2 double crochet into the next space. 1 and 2. Skip 1, 2 into the next one. 1 and 2. Skip the next one, 2 into the next one. 1 and 2. And then we skip the last square here, and now we're on to the end of the row, where we have the 3 double crochets in a row here. And we're going to do 2 in between these 2, and then 3 in the end space, because we're always increasing there. So now we skip 1 space, do 2 into the next one, and that's 2 there, and then 3 into the next one. Do, 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 do. 2 and 3. And that is row 4 all done. And now we're seeing our little shawl take form. Lovely. Okay, and now we're on to row 5. And actually the rest of the whole pattern is just a repetition of row 5 and row 6, but each row obviously has then more repetitions. Okay, so we're going to do row 5, and we start with the 3 chains in the beginning as always, and then 2 double crochets into the next space, the first space here, and 2, 1 and 2, and then 2 into the next one here, 1 and 2. And remember that although we start there at the beginning with just 2 double crochets here, we already did the 3 chains. They stand for 1 double crochet. So in theory, as in be the ball, we have 3 double crochets there to begin with, like at the end. Okay. And now we just do always the same, which is skip 1 space and work 2 double crochets into the next one, all the way until we get to the center, which is now here with 3 double crochets. So the centers vary. That's why we're going to repeat rows 5 and 6, because I don't like it when shawls are really pointy at the center. So this one has like less increase every other row, you know. So here the center is the 3 double crochets in a row, and then the other center is the center chain. Okay, so now the repeat is just skip one space, 1 DC space, like this one here, the square ones, and work 2 double crochets into the next one. Okay, until you get to the center. So skip and then 2 here, 1 and 2, and skip and 1 and 2 into the next one, skip and 2 into the next one, skip and 2 into the next one, and skip, and now we've reached the center. Yeah, and when the center is like this with 3 double crochets in a row, we work 2 double crochets in between the first 2, 1 chain, the center chain, and then 2 double crochets into the next one. Okay, 1 and 2, chain 1, the center chain, and 2 into the next one here. Yeah, so there's 2 in a row here because we're doing the center and we want to do an increase. 1 and 2. Okay, so that's the center done. And now we go again to the repetition, which is skip 1 space, work 2 into the next space. And we do this, we repeat this until we get to the end of the row. Skip 1, 2 into the next one, 2, skip 1, 2 into the next one, skip 1, 2 into the next one, and we repeat this all the way until we get to skip 1, and then we have 3 here at the end where we do the decrease, and until we do the repeat until we get to these here, and then you do 2 double crochets in the first space and 3 in the last one. Skip the square one as well as usual, and then do 2 here in this one, and 2, and 3 in the last one. Two and 3. So that's row 5 all done. Okay, on to row 6, and basically the rows 5 and 6 are exactly the same. The only difference between the two is the center bit, because in the last one we had these 3 double crochets in a row, and here we have the 2 double crochet, the chain, the center chain, and the 2. So this bit here until the center, like the beginning, and until the center, and here and the end, it's all the same for rows 5 and 6, but we will just practice our repeat. Okay, we start with 3 chains as usual, which stands for the first double crochet of the round, and then we work 2 double crochets into the first space, 2 and 2 double crochets in the next space. and then starts our repetition, which is skip one space, work 2 double crochets in the next space. And always we're skipping the one that looks square like this, and we're always working into the one that looks like a V, which is 2 double crochets worked into the same space. Okay, so the repetition is skip one space, work 2 double crochets into the next one until you get to the center, which here is the center chain. Okay, skip and 2, skip and 2, skip and 2, skip and 2, always the same. And what is definitely the beauty of this stitch is that you're not working into chains, you're working into the spaces. So it's such a good, like on the road, in the car, whatever, on the beach, telly, watching the television. It's just a beautiful project to work with. You don't have to even, you can just feel where the hole is, like where the space is. You don't even have to look what you're doing. So once you get on roll with this is like I love the V-stitch, such a great stitch. Skip and 2 here at the in between these two in this space, and now we've reached the center, and here in row 6 then the center is worked into the chain 1, the center chain here, and then we do 3 double crochets, 1 and 2 and 3, and now we work into, and now the repeat is 2 double crochet into the next space, skip the next one, yeah? 2 here into the next space, the V space, and skip the square. 2 into the next one, and skip one space. 2 here, skip. So that's all the way to the end of the row. And as you can see, this is really simple and really just a lovely mindless sort of production crocheting, which is so nice, especially in summer, to have like a little project on the go like this. I've made countless of these shawls. Love the V-stitch and the reverse V-stitch actually as well. I have a sweater in that one. I want to translate that one. So skip and into the next one and skip, and then now once we've skipped this one here, then we're up to the 3 DCs at the end, and we're going to work 2 here in between the first 2 and 3 in between the second. So 1 and 2, and 1, 2 and 3, like so. So now we finished row 6, and really from now on you're just repeating again and again row 5 and 6. The only difference is that you have more repeats of the repeat of skip one space, work 2 double crochet in the next one, and after the center here then you do 2 double crochets into the next one and skip 1 space. So it's really easy, you just go on the same way, and the only difference between rows 5 and 6 is the manner that you work the center, which is just to give it a bit of a smooth sort of, I don't like the ones that are really pointy here, so I want it to be a bit smooth, like more of a bandana sort of looking. So that's it. I'm going to check in with you when I'm going to keep going, and I'm really excited working with this yarn for the first time and seeing the color coming in. So I'll check in with you guys when once I'm a bit further along. So you just keep going and I'll keep going, and then we'll see each other in a bit and see how it's coming along. Yay! Okay, so I've been a busy little bee. Well, didn't do very much last night actually, but still, and it's coming along, and you can see that the color is changing a bit. It went from like totally green and to more of a turquoise, getting into turquoise here, and it's just lovely, and I'm very happy with the drape of it, and it's really just, it'll be a perfect summer shawl actually. And one thing, so don't worry about if it's like bulging a bit, like here you see, because once we lay it out, because I want it to be, I like it to be a bit going up a bit, because if it's completely straight, then it's not going, because we're using this to go around our neck. Yeah, so I wanted the design is that it goes a bit up, so it's sort of like wings that go up. And so once we block it, when we finish, then these little sort of, you see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, it's bulging a bit. These will all just straighten out, and we will just sort of pull them up a bit, so it'll be like beautiful wings stretching out. Oh, but isn't it lovely? And I'm having a great time. This is a really perfect on the go thing. And I might even just go to the bar in a bit with a friend and have a couple of beers and work a bit on my Kria, and then maybe I will come back and show you what's happening. I hope it's going well with you guys as well. You know, you can always look into post in my Facebook group as well, where I have the best admin team ever, and either them, more likely them, or me will help you guys out if you have any problems. But as you can see, because we're always doing this variation of the 5 and 6 here in the center, it's not very pointy here in the center. It's a bit like rounded, which I like. Oh, this is just gorgeous. I wish you could feel it. Well, you can feel yours. I'll just pat mine and you'll pat yours, okay? In a very, very, very like in a very innocent yarn sense of it. God, I'm just going to stop filming. I'm going to go have a beer. That's what I'm going to do. Carry on the good work, okay? I'll check in once I have a bit more. Just one more thing that I wanted to say is that with the V-stitch, so this yarn is sort of ombre gradient, so you can't really, the color changes are very graduate. What is really lovely with the V-stitch is that when you change colors, then you get this sort of zigzag stripes, obviously. So let me just show you this one here. So when you change colors, not like the ombre type, but when you just do different change colors per rows, then you get this really nice zigzag effect. And actually I like it better when you do the accentuating lines in row 6 repeats. And so it's nice to do this as well, and you can use all kinds of scraps or just a few colors and change in between. The nice thing about using this one is that you don't have any ends to work with it in the end, and you know, will just be 2 ends that I have to darn in, which is really nice, and I can just keep going. I don't have to think at all. What is the in-between sort of way of it is this one here that I made. This is with an ombre yarn. Can't even remember what it's called. It was like a wool thing that I bought like 10 years ago. So you see, this one changes gradually as well. And just to give it an extra pop, and you could do this with the Whirl, you know, just to give it an extra pop, I added like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accentuated fun colors in between. And I always love this shawl. I think the colors really turned out beautifully. So you could do this as well in the ombre. Just add a few, you know, 1 here and then maybe 2 in a row and what have you, just throughout, either with, you know, but obviously it had to be something that worked with this. Maybe you could use the black. I don't want to use my black here from the end because I really want to have enough in the end, because the rows always get longer and longer, yeah? So you want to have enough of the black in the end, that so that, you know, you at least hopefully get a couple of rows of black there. So I don't want to use that, but you could maybe buy a solid color Whirl to go with it and make a few accentuating lines in between like I've done here, or just with some scrap yarn that you have lying around that is like sort of the same weight. I think that would be really fun to pop it up, you know, some kind of, with this one for example, it could be turquoise and 1 yellow, and you know, whatever, you know, that's the taste. But so that's another way to go, and I like it better when you do it yeah, like this one here, when you do the accentuating lines in row 6, like here. It looks a bit better than when you do it in row 5, which is like here. I know this is really petty and like a small detail, but you see it's not the same. This one looks more complete because you have the 3 here in the row, and this one is not as complete. I mean, it's very small detail, but that's something that I have learned that I like better. So yeah, that was just pointers on as you go on. You may want to add some popping accentuating lines into your shawl, into your Whirl shawl. I'm just going to do mine really plain and just enjoy not having to think about the colors or cutting or darning in the ends or anything. I'm just going to let it flow, and I'm really just enjoying the bit of seeing the color change gradually, and yeah, it's just lovely, isn't it? So I kind of like crochet. Have you noticed? Such fun, such fun. Okay, looking really forward to seeing your guys' Krias grow as well. And I'm gonna keep going, and I'll show you some updates soon. Okay, so we have some more color changes in. Woo! Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I love this. Oh, and it's really, I mean, I've made loads of these, and the ones in stripes are fun to make and all, and can be really fun to do some pop-up. But oh, this is just so nice. I don't have to think at all. I can just keep going and plodding along, and it just happens. The beauty just happens on its own. Oh, I really like how this is turning out, and I can't wait getting into the more darker gray again. This will be gorgeous. Woo! Looking forward to see your versions as well. Yay! Okay, so just want to show you one more sneak peek before I finish here. I'm into the black gray now, and it's really, there's very little left of my big old cake. You see? So I just hope we'll have enough black in the end, because obviously you see that the fade is it's happening quicker now because the rows are longer, obviously. But I really love how this is turning out. Super duper happy with it. And the thing is that even like, because it's so relaxing, because you don't have to think about the colors or anything, but at the same time it really keeps you going, the color fade, because it's so, I'm always excited to see, okay, so what is the next thread coming in? So isn't it pretty? Ah, yay. Okay, so it's all done, and it's now in blocking. Look at it. Oh my god, I love it. Ah, it's so nice. And yes, I am blocking outside. It's way past midnight, and it's still very bright. And yes, my garden is a mess. Just focus on the shawl, people. Isn't it lovely? And what I like about, like what I was saying before, is that we always do this big increase here at the top, and that's why this is like, it goes up sort of like its wings, right? And the name of the pattern actually is Kria, which I think is like, it's a bird. I think it's called the Arctic something. I'll see if I can find a pic of it. But isn't it just lovely? Oh, I love it. And so easy. I didn't have to think about colors or anything. Well, I obviously picked these beautiful colors, the cake. But it just turned out perfectly. Oh, and as you see, I mean, I just wet blocked it. So I just wet it completely. Just take care to like try to squeeze the water out, not wring it, so that it won't like twist and turn. And I don't even need to put pins in it or anything. You see, it's just sort of laying it out. And yes, I am using the lovely weather that we have here now to dry it outside, and then hopefully it'll be ready tomorrow, and then I can do the intro bit. But yes, I am one happy hooker. Whee! Love the colors, definitely. Oh my god, this is gonna be go great with my green dress. Ah, and just one quick point. So in the end, if you're gonna put tassels, do end with the repetition where you do the middle chain here, the center chain, just so that you can put the tassel right in the middle. So I did I did the same repeat for the last row as for the second last, just so it had this space here in the middle, the center chain, so that I can put it in there. Yeah. Oh, so happy. Yay. And voila. Now it's all dried. And I absolutely love this fade. Oh, I'm going to use this shawl so much. It's going to be my perfect little happy summer shawl. Whee! And next up is just attaching the tassels. Opa, let's get this to stand here. So I have my tassels all ready, and actually I got this great idea from my friend Tui. And I'm gonna see and if I can't find some beads within my little treasure box of all kinds of thrift store score, and see if I can find some nice maybe green beads to go with it. I'm gonna rummage here a bit, and I'm gonna show you how we attach the, okay, I'm totally distracted by the beads. how we can attach our tassels to finish the shawl. Yay! Okay, so I've had a look and I found these here, all kinds of bluish, green, and a bit of black to go with. Oh God, I'm so excited about this. I love beads. I mean, who doesn't? But so what you need is obviously before you, if you're going to add some beads, then you have to check and see if you have a needle that has like a small head so that it will fit through the smaller ones. Oh no, this doesn't work. This one is a bit, oh. No, this one is just actually broken. Okay. Yep, it goes through. This one. Whoopa. Okay, so I am thinking each one should have something black, but the black one was, so we do green and black, and then one blue per each, right? I definitely always like things to be like, I want them to be not the same. I am aware and understand that normally people would like the same sequence of beads. That is not the way I roll. Okay, so I'm just gonna thread these here. It's gonna be a bit difficult to get these through. Best to do just one at a time. Do 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 do. Yes, this is what we call slow TV. Damn it. Come on. Yep. There we go. We got it through. So I like these for the middle bit. Okay, can't have like endless beads on each one to show some restraint. Let's start with a small black one. And then maybe a blue, just a bit bigger. And then a green. This is fun. Oh, this looks lovely. And one spot at the end. This one is too small for my needle. Let's do this one. It's a bit too much. Okay, I'm gonna think this better and then film once I have decided what to do. Okay, I'm back on track. So I think 3 is an absolute max for these. So I'm gonna do like 1 black and 2 green for each one. I think these here are gonna go on the other 2. So I can take the rest of my green beads and tuck them away. Don't want to lose these. And obviously we need to, I'm not going to be threading these over and over again, so I'm going to use the already threaded needle to fasten it in here. So we're just going to fasten these at each corner basically. And because we already have the black thread, because we knew we were going to finish with the black, this is just basically basic sewing here. But you want to have it a bit, you want to do it both so that it's tight, so that the beads don't have any extra space, right? Do 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 do. I'm slowly realizing this is more of an off-camera work. I mean, this is just fudging it a bit until it is working the way you want. Don't you love how I make everything look so easy? Okay. This looks lovely. Oh my god, I'm gonna love this shawl so much. I already love it. And then just when you do the last one, I'm just gonna do an extra knot here. So when I do the last one, I'm gonna go through my, if I get it through, yeah, I'm just gonna go through this here once. Whoopa, and tighten it, and then weave in my ends. And there we go. Just 2 times here into the black. Okay. So smooth, so smooth. That's my middle name, Smooth. That's my, you know. Oh my god. Well, I am smooth in the color coordination. Are you seeing this? My scissors match the shawl. I mean, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, this is so cool. Oh my god. I'm gonna fasten in the other ones and then I'll show you once it's ready. And just before we finish, look how perfectly this turned out. So I had one whole cake, whoop, like this, and I was left with only this minor scrap. So it just turned out perfectly for the shawl. I'm so happy with this. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of the beaded tassel insertion off camera, definitely, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Oh my god, this is fun. Okay, so the second one obviously went way better because I was not, you know, and you know, you won't even believe me now because the other one was such a mess. So I'm gonna show you how I did that one on camera, and hopefully that will go well. I should have threaded my needle before turning on the camera again, but you know. Okay, so what I did on this one here, it's pretty, oh my god, fucking loving this, is that I just threaded my beads up on it, and instead of trying to work it all in with my already threaded needle, I just started by tying it, and it came out way better. Because you won't really, when you're doing either, if it's with the beads or not with the beads, what you don't want is it to be, you want it to be really tightly, like really right onto the shawl, right? So the best way to get it really tight up to the shawl is just to tie a knot, really. Just use my hook to go into here. I'm actually not going to go even into this one. I'm going to go into this one here. So it has a bit more. And just pull one of the 2 threads up here and tie a double knot, right? So very, very, very fine knots. Okay, and just really tight like this, because we want it to be not like slack, like, what do you call it, like slagging down or something. You want it to be right up here tight. Oh my god, this is so pretty. Oh my god, I love the beads thing. I don't know why I haven't been adding beads to my tassels. I feel like that's insane. Thank you, Tui. God damn. Okay, I'm never doing any tassels ever again without adding beads. Like, why would you? And also tassels make everything better, and beads too, so it makes sense. And then, obviously, for a better result, you want to just weave in your ends one at a time. I was so stressed with the first one that I just kind of powered through, but it's better to weave them in one at a time, obviously. Good finish. I know my granny's always watching, so can't be taking any shortcuts with the finish, not even when I'm stressed and on camera. That's one. And the other one. Always have at least 2 or 3 movements when weaving in ends. So one gets unraveled, the other one holds. Okay. And there we go. Dear Lord. I mean, isn't this just glorious? Oh. Yeah, baby. Oh my God. Okay. I have to like turn off the camera and try this on with a mirror. I'll show you. Well, I've already shown you this in the intro, so you won't be surprised. But I'm like genuinely just jumping with joy here and excitement. Before I do that, I just want to show you the other version. Oh my God, this is beautiful. So the other version of the Kria pattern is, we already did the shawl here, and next up, the next tutorial I'm doing, and I've already filmed it, so are the Kria bibs. And I mean, I just love these. Aren't they cute? Sort of like little bandanas, right? So they're really kind of cool also. It's not like a, you know, the bibs in crochet are often a bit frilly, you know, but these are really just very cool kid bib. And these work great for boys as well, because the ones in crochet often have lots of like lacy stuff, which maybe isn't, or you know, I'm not supposed to talk about gender, but anyway, for my boys I wouldn't have them in lots of lace, I can say that. So I love these for them to have like, you know, sort of small little bandana versions. And so both versions are included in the pattern, and I've now made tutorials for both, and this one will be coming up next. And I hope to see a lot of Kria bibs and Kria shawls soon on the social media, and please remember to tag me. Okay, let's just look at the oh my God, I mean, this is just, yeah. Oh, this is the good stuff. Thanks so much for following along, you guys. I hope to see a lot more of you soon. I'm gonna be on it now that I have my studio going. Ciao.